Hey everybody, I'm Emily from Minor DIY, and my project was this cute little camera box. I know it's kind of hard to tell the scale with the pictures of the project, but so I actually made it large enough to hold 4x6 photos. So if you have some prints that you want to have or keep in a box like this, it is just perfect for it. The 4x6s fit in there just right. And it would also be great for like a candy box or, hey, gift cards. Who wouldn't love that, right? And in my workshop, I taught you how to hack the print then cut. And it's kind of complicated. I realize that. So I've heard a few, or I saw a few people say in the Facebook group, like, oh, I'm going to have to watch it a couple times. Like, yeah, maybe. I would say the most important takeaway, though, is when you're using the guides to make sure your picture is just a little bit bigger than the guides so you don't have any white space, even if you're a little bit off in the guides. Hi from Germany. Oh, hi, Texas. I can see your guys' comments on YouTube too. So thanks for showing up. Oh, thanks for the hair compliment too. Purple is my color, so yeah, it is what it is, right? Don't we get like more eccentric as we get older? April, oh, I'm so glad you like the box. And Betsy, yes, a cheat sheet. I actually was meaning to do the cheat sheet for you guys with screenshots and everything, and it's just been chaotic, so I haven't done it yet. But maybe in the future, if you're on my email list, you will get any updates or hints or anything else that might have to do with the project. So Erin's asking what size of pictures fit in it. So it's made for 4x6 prints. So if you have those, you know, old-fashioned prints, all those albums in the attic or whatever, you can slide them all in there. Or if you like to make gifts for like grandma and grandpa who don't necessarily want to look at all the pictures of the grandkids on the phone, right? Like it's so nice to actually have prints. So the 4x6 ones will fit in this box. What questions do you have about it? As I said, I know it's kind of complicated with the print then cut. I see Betsy saying, yep, Walgreens still prints. I know Walmart, you can do Shutterfly. There's lots of places that actually prints photos. And again, it's, you know, the photos that you actually print out are the ones that are the best. Those are the memories. Those are the special ones. Those are the ones that will be kept around for a long time. And, you know, I'm sure you guys know, like as far as memories, like, you know, grandpa and grandma's photos, the really special ones that you have around. Yeah, it's important to have some of your personal history too. So Debbie asks if I know how many pictures fit in each box. I don't actually. I just designed it to put it in, but I haven't tried it with all my prints. So I actually lived overseas for 14 years. And so I do have boxes and boxes of photos and prints. and they're no longer in my storage unit. They are somewhere around here, but I don't have easy access to a lot of prints right now. I also made the mantle-worthy photo card, which you can kind of see in the back there. That is my friend, my daughter Juliana and her best friend. I also resized that to fit in it. So this is a special card that you can just put up, and this black places are where the pictures will go. So it's made to be displayed. And I think actually about 3 of those would fit in the box. Right now, I have been sending those to anyone who got their VIP pass through me, but I will have it for sale sometime on my website too. So if you're interested in that, that is coming. Can I scale it smaller or larger? So absolutely. If you're cutting it out on the Joy, of course, it can only be smaller. It can't be larger. If you're cutting it out on a full-size machine, it could be larger. However, I don't think that it really needs to be. I guess it depends on what you're using it for. Like someone said they were going to use it for like a treat box or something. And then I guess it could be larger. But if you had too much heavy stuff in it, I don't think that it would hold up like that well. And for a long, long period of time, I could imagine like the paper starts bulging and everything. So you could. I don't know if you'd want to though. And have I ever done the shutter lens picture as a changeable image? I haven't, Judy. That's a good idea, actually. If you wouldn't, I'm trying to think how you do that. Yeah, if you would just use like blue tape on the back of the image. I do that actually quite a bit, is you just use blue painter's tape when I want to change something. Or if I'm doing a project and I'm worried that like the steps I'll have to like go back and photograph. So sometimes I won't glue something, I'll just use blue painter's tape. So you could absolutely, but in all my test ones, you can see I wanted to match the photo with the outside of the box. So I didn't want to change it. You can see back there, I have my Halloween one, and the very, very first one I did in the corner right by that create is like I tried to do like Thanksgiving colors or fall colors. Will the accordion photo holder be available for VIP members? So the VIP pass, I didn't have it in there. The thing that I contributed to the VIP pass was the pop-up unicorn cards. So you might have seen them before. I'll just give you a quick peek. So these are full-size ones. I have resized them to fit the Joy, and you just use a regular inset card base, an envelope, and then cut out the rest of the stuff on the Joy. So it's actually a package of 3 in the VIP. So this is the first one. This is the flower unicorn one, the rainbows. The next one, which is a Christmas unicorn. And I highly recommend using HTV for the little dots, the berries and the mistletoe, and also for the horn. It makes it so much easier than have to use layers and layers of cardstock. But I love the little pop-up Santa hat. And the last one is for a Valentine's Day unicorn. And if you can see it, there's little hearts in the center of all the flowers. So those are my VIP contribution. What weight of paper did I use? So for the box, I used for the base 110-pound cardstock. Like I use 110 black cardstock all the time. So I bought like 100 sheets from Michael's or whatever, Recollections. And then the shiny material here is poster board, and this poster board is just from Walmart. I like the shimmer that it has to it. You could also use just regular paper, And then for the bottoms, to make the box quite sturdy when you glue it together, I definitely do recommend the 100-pound cardstock. What is the hole besides the lens? Does it require anything attached? It doesn't. So, you know, a lot of cameras have that hole, I think it's like a light meter, I believe. So that's what it is. So all it is just a cutout on this one piece here, and whatever you have behind it, it shows through. So really you don't have to do anything at all with that hole, but a lot of cameras do have it. So I added it to the design. Let me go ahead and grab this other box too. Because alternatively, if you don't want to do the print and cut for the flash, like this one, as I said, this was my prototype. So it's slightly smaller, and you know, I had to change a few things on it. But I used glitter, just a piece of glitter cardstock in the back, and cut out the hole. So you don't have to do the print and cut either. And for this one, you can see the button's a little bit taller and not quite as long. And I just used the same color of paper as this. So I didn't have to do print and cut. Oh, I'm glad you like the idea. Thanks, Sandra. Betsy, you could use acetate in the lens and leave the top open so you could drop other pictures in. Yes, that's how you could do it. You guys are brilliant. Let me think, right there. Yep. Yeah, you'd have to only put, oh yeah, it'd take a little bit of work because of the round lens, I think, like where you'd have to put it in. But yeah, you could definitely do it. You could definitely figure it out. So Leslie asks, so you can make this not using the print and cut, correct? So correct. So for the photo, if you had a print, for example, you would just cut out or trace on your print a circle, you know, one of these sizes a circle, and then cut it around manually if you didn't want to do print and cut at all. And then, yep, instead of using this flash, like the stickers like I did, yep, just cut the hole out, just attach it, cut it there. It is in the design. And same with the button. Does that make sense? Oh, I like it. Text Judy says, wheels are turning tonight. So this is what I love about events like these. Like, I don't know. I love hacking things and being able to figure it out. Like, when I first heard of Cricut, I'm like, oh, a cutting machine. That sounds like, why would I need a cutting machine? But then when I started learning like which projects I could do or how I could use a cutting machine, like exactly, the wheels are turning, like, wow. So yes, Leslie, just use the SVG file provided. And there are, like I said, there's the shapes in there. So you would just attach that instead of doing the print then cut. I believe that in the file, like or in my tutorial, I show you how to use those shapes and turn them into guides and then do the images and cut it out of the guides. So don't do it that way. You would just put leave it in the same spot and attach it to the piece below so that it cuts out of it too. Karen says, looks cool, but a little daunting. I understand. Karen, do you have a full-size machine too, or just the Joy? Because the trickiest part, honestly, is the print then cut. Like that's the tricky one. Any fun events or things coming up? Yes. So I am working on 2 more summits actually. And if you guys want a sneak peek, I'll show you. So I have, like I say, I like to hack things. So I learned how to do, it's corrugated cardboard, and I learned how to cut that with the maker quite a while ago, actually. But I saw this really cool explosion box. And if you guys have followed me for a little while, you know I like explosion boxes too. And so I found this one, and it is a jumping explosion box. And I'm pretty sure that it's not going to work perfectly because it's in my hand. But when you take off the lid, it jumps and it flips inside out, and then you can have things there. So this is a very, very, very prototype. I know you guys are used to seeing, like, you know, the perfect, beautiful project. But so that's going to be coming up in an event sometime. Yeah, so stay tuned. Yeah, I enjoy that a lot. Thanks. Sandra says that I do unbelievable things with corrugated cardboard. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I love it. Like I said, I did so many test cuts, like trying to figure it out. Like, how do I do it? How do I do it? Like, I had all these grocery boxes that I wanted to do. I wanted to make doll houses and like furniture, and like I just had all these ideas. I made a hanging blade caddy, which, yeah, I'm gonna do some live workshops on sometime. Like, there's just so much fun stuff you can do. Yeah, Judy. Judy asks, where can we find your next events that you will be in? So if you're on my mailing list, I will be emailing them out. So a lot of times we can't announce that we're going to be in these events or what they are, or who's putting them on or anything until, you know, they say we can. But we have to start preparing months in advance because there's so much tech work that goes into the behind the scenes. So it's a long process of us recording our workshops and getting all the files and the freebies and the, you know, all these different things together. So if you're on my email list, you will be notified of it. I promise. And if you're not part of it yet, my website is minordiy.com, and minor is MINOR. Perfect. Thank you. And that is, at that link too, is where you can subscribe and grab the extra flashes. I'll send you an email instantly with a few tips, like the tip about the score lines. People love that. So if you, it's the best thing. My favorite way to duplicate is if you have your element selected and hold down the Alt key and just click, it puts a second, whatever it is, whether it's a score line or writing or a shape, exactly in the same spot. You know how usually when you hit that duplicate button, it like pops it up in the corner way over there. So if you hit Alt and hit it, then it puts it wherever you want it to go, which is so convenient. And I will email you a tip and a printable on how to do that so you can remember it. Thanks, Donna. It was the best tip, she said, and she's used it extensively. And I got it from one of my readers even. I was like, no way. Like, everybody needs to know this. So that's one of the most fun things about being a content creator, is just sharing all this knowledge to make things easier for everybody else. Like, I like figuring this stuff out and then sharing it. I will also be putting, have any of you guys seen the file folders, the custom file folders that I've been sending out? One day when I was cleaning up my desktop, I'm guessing a lot of you also have tons and tons of little icons just all over your desktop. And I was, arranging my new folders as I was organizing them. I was like, these are boring. I'm going to make them pretty. So I started coming up with all these different ideas and colors and labels and everything. I'm like, everyone on my email list would love this too. And so now I have started making them for every event that I'm in. So I have one for this event too, the Create with Joy file folder. So it stands out from all those boring blue or yellow folders that are the system folders. And again, like I have so many things going on right now. I apologize. I haven't sent them out, but they're all done. And in one of the next emails you get from me, if you're on my list, I will be sending those to you for free, of course. And yeah, Betsy, Donna, Sandra, yes, everyone says, oh, all the file folders are awesome. Like, yeah, they make me happy. I see Susan says, do you prefer a glass or a self-healing cutting mat, and why? So I have both, and I find that I use my self-healing mat way more often, but that's mostly because I'm shooting video and the lights are just, yeah, too much with the glass. It doesn't work that well. I like the glass one a lot for glue and for putting on like my glue gun, my glue stick, lots of things like that. And I guess my self-healing mat is a lot bigger. So when I'm cutting large pieces of paper, of course, I prefer that too. So my glass mat, however, does have the super magnets. And so that's kind of nice to hold all the pieces around. And it's also easier cleanup for when you're getting, glue everywhere too. So I like them both, actually. The problem of crafters, like too many options, right? Catherine asks, what inspired me to create the camera box? That is a good question. So I really love working with photos, as you can see. And I've done quite a few explosion boxes, and those really don't work very well on the Joy because they're just, too big. And I'm like, oh, I've done quite a few of those. I've done quite a few cards, and kind of lots of people do cards on the Joy. So let's see, what else could I do? And so gift boxes came up. And because I'm so into photos and cameras, it just kind of made sense to me to have a box like that. I guess for the Cricut crafting adventure, I did the suitcase. You can see that up there too, the gray and black one. So I do like, I don't know, all my projects, it seems, almost are to give away. Like I don't make a lot of stuff for me. Like it's always for someone else. And I don't know, that's just kind of the way I craft. So that's what I make. So Sandra says, I don't have any 100 weight cardstock or paper. Can I substitute with something else? Yep, absolutely. So this one, I did use 65-pound cardstock, and actually the front seems okay. I don't have one on the back. By putting two pieces together, it is pretty sturdy. And then on the sides, like there's actually 3 layers of cardstock, and on the bottom 3 layers of cardstock. So honestly, your normal cardstock will work okay. I just wouldn't suggest filling this all the way up with prints. Like don't get it too heavy. But 65-pound cardstock will work just fine. Oh, you can see here's my random 4x6 prints that I was testing with. So Elena wants to know, she sees my mug press and do I design things for mugs? So I got my mug press, for Christmas, and my cousin Mesa was here for a couple weeks and I started her on the mugs. So I also got myself a sublimation printer because photos, right? And I have not actually made a mug for myself yet. I made a mug for a birthday present, and Mesa made a ton of mugs, but me, I haven't yet. So I will, and I'm looking at some tumblers and everything now too. But again, so many projects, so little time. So I think I will be designing things for mugs. I had the idea. So when I was doing the mug for the birthday party, I didn't realize that I had chosen an access only design. And it's like, okay, either buy it for this month or start over. And I'm like, right, I'll just pay that $7 or whatever it was, $10. And yeah, I'm like, oh, but I could make templates for other people to use. This would be cool. So they don't have to pay for access if they don't want to. So yeah, lots and lots of ideas always. Marie asked where I got my glass mat at. Shoot, it's it's a company, and I actually do have an affiliate link for them, and I don't think I've posted it yet. So if you want, I can look that up and do it, because they have bright white and they have custom ones with photos, and they have Glassboard Studios. That sounds right, Debbie. I believe so. They have several different sizes, and then the super magnets that you can stick onto them too. Leslie asked, the instructions provided, are they only for print and cut, or can they be used for non-print and cut? So let's see. Like I said, the only thing, they are for print and cut, but for the box and the assembly and everything, they're all the same. So the only thing that you would change would be the sticker for the button and the sticker for the flash and the photo. Any other questions for me? Yeah, Glassboard Studio, I believe, is the one that has the glass mats. You could cut the print and cut pieces out by hand. You absolutely could. Yes. Yep. No problem at all. Yeah. And these are, like I said, these are just tiny little pieces. So you don't necessarily have to have, like, I designed them so, you know, it looked 3D and everything. But the original version that didn't have the 3D, I mean, I think that looks okay too. And no one that you give this to as a gift is going to say, ooh, I think that button should look like it's 3D. Like, I think they're just going to be really happy with it. I saw someone had already made one and posted a photo in the group with her daughter's wedding photo. Like, it was beautiful. Mary says, I don't have a Joy, but could you use Craftboard on the regular Cricut machines? Yes, absolutely you could. And then they would be very sturdy. I just picked up some Craftboard actually from 12 by 12 Cardstock shop. They have like solid core black cardstock, which I think would look really nice on it. But I have not made it because that just arrived today. But absolutely, Craftboard would be a very sturdy option. Right. Any other questions for me before our time is up? That is a wrap. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate y'all being here and all the comments. Like, I've loved seeing pictures and comments about people saying they've learned so much. Like, that truly means a lot to me. And yeah, and I really hope to be teaching you new things for a long time to come. Feel free to drop a comment in the Facebook group or question or anything. I'm happy to answer that. Just tag me so I am sure to see it. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great evening.